All right. Come in, sit down. I've been expecting you. And before we jump into anything serious, let me just say it properly this time. Congratulations. The wedding is only a few weeks away now, isn't it? That's a huge milestone. Really, it is. I'm happy for you. Or at least I'm supposed to be. You don't look very happy, though. You look exhausted. Your eyes are dull. Your shoulders are tight. You're barely holding yourself together. Is it the planning, the invitations, the deadlines, the constant responsibilities piling on you? Because I can see it all over your face. You're not sleeping, are you? You don't have to answer that, I already know. You're trying to smile, but even that looks painful. Come on, look at me, just for a second. I need to see how bad it's gotten. There it is. That little flicker of discomfort. That's what I wanted to check. All right, let me set your file here. We'll go through it together. I don't want you panicking yet. Just breathe normally. Good. Now, before I explain anything, tell me something. Do you actually feel ready for this wedding? Or does it feel like it's swallowing you whole? Like you're being dragged towards something you can't slow down? Because that's what your body is telling me. You've got tension in your jaw, your pulse is a little faster than it should be, and the way you keep touching your temples tells me the headaches came back, didn't they? See, this is exactly why I wanted you to come in today. I don't want you collapsing from stress right before the ceremony. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here because I care, whether you like admitting that or not. So let's stop pretending you're fine. All right. Before you tense up again, just sit still for a second. You're already gripping the edge of the chair like you're expecting something terrible. Why do you always do that? Why do you always assume the worst before I even speak? Look at me. No, really, look. You're shaking. Do you feel that? Your breathing, your hands, your posture, all of it is screaming stress. And don't tell me it's just wedding planning, because this didn't start last week. This has been building for months. Slowly, quietly, wearing you down while you pretend nothing is wrong. Come on, answer me. Do you think this is normal? Waking up tired, falling asleep late, your mind racing nonstop, feeling guilty for being exhausted, forcing excitement you don't actually feel. That isn't how someone preparing for the happiest day of their life should look. And you know it. I'm not trying to ruin anything. Just be honest with me. You can lie to everyone else, but not in here. All right, fine. Don't say anything. I'll move on. I've reviewed every test you did last week. Your cortisol levels, your sleep tracking, the blood pressure fluctuations, the recurring headaches you tried to downplay. Everything is pointing in the same direction, increasing strain on your body. And you didn't even text me when the migraines came back. Why? Because you didn't want your fiancé to worry? Or because she told you not to come back here? Interesting that you look away when I say that. Anyway, Let me put it simply. Your results have declined again, and I'm more concerned today than I was last month. I know you think you can push through this, but you can't. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to protect you. I'm right here. Don't rush. Don't apologize. Don't pretend. I need honesty, not politeness. Now, listen. Your stress response is spiking immediately after I mention your wedding, isn't it? Don't deny it. I can literally watch it happen in real time. Your pulse jumps, your breath shortens, your voice gets tight. This isn't excitement. This is dread, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So stop shaking your head and answer me. When you think about the ceremony, the guests, the vows, the future, what do you feel? Pressure? Anxiety? Exhaustion? All of the above? Because nothing about you right now says, I'm happy. Nothing. And I'm not blaming you. I'm concerned for you, deeply. Because this level of stress doesn't appear out of nowhere. Something is weighing on you. Something you're scared to admit out loud. Something you're trying to manage alone because you don't want to ruin anything. Am I right? I knew it. You don't have to speak. Your silence is enough. But here's the part you don't understand yet. This isn't just emotional stress. It's physical. Your sleep cycles are collapsing. Your headaches are increasing. Your body is tired, and no amount of pretending will change that. So calm down. Breathe with me. Yes, just like that. Good. Now, listen carefully. If you keep going like this, it won't matter how close the wedding is. Your health will crash before you reach the altar. And I won't let that happen. Not to you. Not when I know the real reason this is happening. I want you to listen closely, because everything I'm about to say connects to something you've been ignoring. These headaches, the insomnia, the tightness in your chest, the fog in your mind, none of this is new. You know that. You've been dealing with these symptoms for months, even if you pretend they just come and go. I've tracked every fluctuation, every spike, every little change in your sleep reports. And before you say anything, no, this isn't just work stress or cold feet about the wedding. I hate when people around you brush it off like that. I've seen the patterns. I've compared your logs from 2 months ago to now, and the decline is gradual but very consistent. You're not losing control. Your body is simply reacting to something you don't want to face. I can see it all over you. The way you rub your temples, the way you keep glancing at the door like you want to escape, the way your voice trembles when you talk about next week's wedding rehearsals. And don't say you're just tired, because tired people don't look like this. They don't flinch when I say her name. They don't break eye contact the second I bring up the word marriage. You can lie to yourself, but you cannot lie to me. Not after all the months you've been coming here. I know what worsening stress looks like. I know what emotional strain looks like. And I know when someone is forcing themselves into something that's crushing them from the inside out. Which is why I'm being more direct now. Something is wrong. Something deeper than you're admitting. And if you keep avoiding it, your condition is going to deteriorate even faster. So talk to me, or at least let me tell you what I've already figured out. All right, I'm done circling around this. I'm done pretending this is just clinical, that this is just routine checkups, that I'm just doing my job. You deserve honesty, even if it hurts, even if it shocks you, even if you walk out of here afterward. I haven't been completely honest with you. Not about your symptoms, not about your progress, not about what's been causing all of this. And before you panic, no, you're not physically sick. You're not dying. Nothing catastrophic is happening to your body, but something is happening to your life. Something you've been too afraid to admit. And I've watched it for months, quietly, hoping you would see it yourself. But you haven't, so now I have to say it. Your stress isn't random. Your insomnia isn't random. Your headaches aren't random. They all started intensifying the moment the wedding planning began, the moment she started pressuring you, the moment your relationship became more about deadlines and obligations than actual happiness. And yes, I'm talking about her. My sister, your fiancé, the person you're supposed to be marrying. But the truth is, she's not the one who's been helping you through all this. I am. I'm the one you come to when you're scared, tired, sick, overwhelmed. I'm the one who sees the real you, not the version you pretend to be for her. And I can't keep pretending I haven't seen what this is doing to you. I can't keep pretending I don't know the truth about what's killing your peace. So I'm done hiding it. I'm going to tell you exactly what's been happening and exactly why your wedding is destroying you. Listen to me. Don't tense up. Just let me talk. Because I know exactly what reflex you're having right now. The moment anyone questions your fiancé, you shut down. You panic. You defend her automatically, even when you're exhausted, even when you're hurting, even when you know something feels wrong. I'm not here to attack her. I'm here to explain something you need to hear. You think you love her, and maybe a part of you does, but love isn't supposed to break your body like this. Love isn't supposed to give you migraines, keep you awake at night, drain your energy, make you feel guilty for needing rest. Studies show that when your nervous system reacts negatively to someone consistently, your brain labels it as stress, not love. And your body has been screaming for months. You can't ignore that. Every time you talk about her, you get tense. Every time you talk about the wedding, your breathing shifts. When I ask you about your future, your eyes cloud. Does that sound like someone who's excited? No, it sounds like someone who's trying desperately to convince himself that he's doing the right thing. And I see through that, even if you don't. You're trying to be loyal. I get that. But loyalty doesn't mean destroying your health to protect her feelings. Loyalty doesn't mean suffering in silence. You think I don't notice the way you hesitate before answering questions about her, or how you look relieved when you're here with me. You feel safe with me, don't you? Even if you don't say it out loud, your body says it for you. So ask yourself this honestly. If being with her makes you sick, and being here with me makes you breathe normally again, what does that tell you? What does your body know that your heart is still afraid to admit? All right, you're looking at me like I've crossed a line, but you need to hear this because no one else will ever say it to you. You keep acting like she's perfect, like she's stable, like she's reliable, but you don't know her the way I do. I grew up with her. I watched her lie, manipulate, shut down emotionally, act out whenever she didn't get attention. She's always been difficult, insecure, dramatic, desperate to cling to whoever would tolerate her. And before you panic, I'm not saying this to attack your fiancé for fun. I'm saying it because it's relevant to your condition. She drains people. She always has. When we were kids, she would latch on to someone and then suffocate them until they pulled away, and then she'd play the victim. Don't look so shocked. You've seen hints of it too. The mood swings, the guilt trips, the way she puts everything on you because you're the stable one, the way she uses your kindness as a safety net. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you haven't felt that pressure on your chest every time she dumps another responsibility onto you. And here's the thing you don't want to hear. She chose you because she knew you'd put up with it. She knew you were patient, gentle, hardworking. She knew you'd sacrifice your comfort for hers. But you're paying the price now, and I can't stand watching it anymore, especially because I've been on the receiving end of her selfishness my whole life. She was always the weird one, the difficult one, the one who created problems and expected everyone to fix them. And you think marriage is going to magically change her? It won't. It will only make the cycle tighter, and you're already falling apart. I'm not telling you to hate her. I'm telling you to stop destroying yourself for someone who doesn't know how to love without draining everyone around her. Look, I'm not asking you to break up. I'm asking you to stop lying to yourself. Because everything in your body reacts the same way the moment she becomes part of the conversation. Your pulse rises, your posture collapses, your anxiety spikes. This isn't random. This is conditioning. Your brain associates her presence with stress, not safety. And that's not love, that's survival mode. You think it's normal because you've been living like this for so long that your baseline is exhaustion. But I've been here, watching the decline week after week. I see the way you defend her out of obligation, not out of joy. And I hear the hesitation in your voice every time you talk about marrying her. You don't say, I can't wait. You say, it's coming up. Do you hear the difference? Because I do. And it breaks my heart. And yes, I said heart, because I'm tired of pretending I don't care. I'm tired of watching you convince yourself that stress is love, that headaches are commitment, that sleepless nights are normal during planning. They're not. Your symptoms get worse when you spend time with her, and they ease when you're here with me. I've tracked everything. Your sleep reports, your stress spikes, your tension levels. You think that's a coincidence? It isn't. She isn't stabilizing you. She's triggering you. And maybe she doesn't mean to, but that doesn't change the reality. And every time you try to hide how miserable you are, you only make it worse. You deserve someone who calms you, not someone who makes your chest tighten. Someone who understands you, not someone who drains you. Someone who sees you, not someone who uses you. And deep down, you already know she isn't the right person. You just don't want to admit it yet. You keep gripping your hands like you're about to defend her again. But listen to me before you do. You keep telling yourself you love her because you've already invested so much time into this relationship, because you don't want to admit you might have chosen wrong, because you're afraid of disappointing her family, of disappointing yourself. But that isn't love. That's obligation. That's fear. That's guilt dressed up as commitment. And the saddest part is that you don't even notice how much you've shrunk yourself just to make this engagement work. You've stopped expressing what you want. You stopped taking breaks. You stopped saying no. You stopped resting. You even stopped talking about your own feelings because every conversation somehow becomes about her stress instead of yours. Do you hear yourself when you talk about her? It's always, I don't want her to worry, or I don't want her to be upset. Never, this is what I need. Never, this is what makes me happy. When was the last time you felt safe, relaxed, understood, actually seen by her? Because when you look at me, I can see a kind of relief in your eyes, like you can finally breathe, like you don't have to pretend. And that alone should tell you something. Your body doesn't lie the way your mouth does. You're carrying the weight of an entire relationship alone, and she has no idea, does she? She just assumes you'll handle everything because you always do. But that doesn't mean you should, and it doesn't mean you're happy. Stop confusing endurance with love. Stop mistaking pressure for passion. Stop convincing yourself that misery is normal just because you feel obligated to protect her. You deserve a relationship that doesn't drain you, and you know that, even if you're scared to say it.
Look at me. Really look. Do you feel how much calmer you get when you're here? How much easier it is for you to talk, to breathe, to open up without forcing the words? I've watched you for months, studying how you react to different people, different triggers, and there's one thing I've noticed over and over. She doesn't understand you. Not the way she thinks she does. She doesn't know how your mind works. She doesn't notice the way your mood shifts. She doesn't hear the things you don't say. She doesn't sense when something is wrong until it's too late. But I do. Every time. Instantly. You try to hide it from me sometimes, but your voice gives it away. Your eyes give it away. Your breathing gives it away. You've always been easier to read than you think. And honestly, it scares me how blind she has been to what you're going through. I can tell when you haven't slept the moment you walk in, but she doesn't notice even when you're right next to her. I can see the tension in your shoulders from across the room, but she doesn't see it even when you're holding her. Do you really think that's the kind of person you want to spend the rest of your life with? Someone who doesn't even notice when you're hurting. Someone who only pays attention when it affects her. Someone who wants the wedding, but doesn't see the person she's actually marrying. You deserve someone who pays attention to you. Someone who listens. Someone who can sense the shift in your breathing and know something is wrong. Someone who recognizes when you're overwhelmed without being told. Someone who actually sees you. And deep down, You know she never has, but I always have.
All right. Enough hesitating, enough pretending neither of us knows what's happening. You want answers, real answers. So I'm going to tell you what you've been too overwhelmed to notice. Your stress didn't increase because of work or bills or bad sleep habits. It increased because the moment you got engaged, everything changed. She became more demanding, more anxious, more dependent on your stability, and you absorbed every bit of it without complaining. But every time you carried her stress, your own body paid the price. And I watched it happen in slow motion. Every appointment, every update, every test. Your decline wasn't random. It followed a pattern directly linked to your interactions with her. And before you argue, don't forget I've seen both of you from angles you haven't. I've seen how she talks about you when you're not in the room, how she plays it off like she's the one dealing with everything alone, like you're the one who falls short, like you're not doing enough. I've heard her dismiss your exhaustion like it's an inconvenience, and it made me realize something I should have told you sooner. You think you're failing her, but she's the one failing you. She's draining you, overloading you, leaning on you so heavily that you don't even have space to breathe. And she doesn't even notice. Not because she's cruel, but because she never learned how to care about anyone but herself. I'm not saying this to hurt you. I'm saying it because someone needs to finally tell you the truth. You're collapsing under the weight of a relationship you're carrying alone. And you don't deserve that. Not from her, not from anyone.
All right, I'm done sugarcoating this. You keep acting like I'm exaggerating, like I'm making something out of nothing. But I've been tracking your condition for months. Every appointment, every message, every sleep cycle, every headache chart, every stress spike. And the patterns are painfully clear. Whether you want to face it or not, your entire decline lines up perfectly with your engagement. The arguments, the pressure, the expectations, the emotional weight she dumps on you without even thinking. Every time she panics, you absorb it. Every time she cries, you fix it. Every time she's overwhelmed, you sacrifice your own health so she can calm down. And she doesn't even realize she's doing it. She's draining you like you're some kind of emotional battery that she can keep using and using until it dies. And the worst part is, you've gotten so used to picking up after her chaos that you think this is normal, that this is what relationships look like. No, it's not. This is what it looks like when one person does everything and the other barely notices. I know you think I'm being harsh, but someone has to be, because you clearly won't say it to yourself. You're collapsing under pressure she doesn't even acknowledge. She's planning a wedding like everything is magical and perfect while you're barely functioning, barely sleeping, barely stable. And do you really think she cares enough to look beneath the surface? To actually ask what's wrong? To genuinely help you? She doesn't. She never has. And you refusing to accept that doesn't make it any less true. You're suffering in silence while she's blissfully unaware. And you're only hurting yourself by pretending everything is okay. Stop looking at the floor. Look at me. I need you to hear every word without slipping back into denial. You only know the version of my sister she shows you, the soft, sweet, overwhelmed little act she uses to make people feel protective of her. But that isn't who she is. I grew up with her, remember? I've seen every ugly side you're too blinded to recognize. The selfishness, the insecurity, the manipulation, the way she plays helpless just to get attention. And you think she outgrew that just because she's older now? She didn't. She just learned how to hide it better. You don't see how she talks when you're not in the room. You don't hear the way she complains, the way she twists things, the way she makes herself the victim in every scenario. She's been doing it her entire life. She used to push people away with her behavior and then cry when they left, acting like she had no idea what she did wrong. And you're the perfect target. Because you're patient, kind, responsible, compassionate. You're exactly the type of person she clings to, someone she can lean on until they collapse under the weight. And that's exactly what's happening to you. You think you're building a future together, but all you're doing is sacrificing yourself for someone who has never learned how to stand on her own. And don't you dare tell me I'm wrong. You know I'm not. Look at your health. Look at your body. Look at your eyes. You're breaking down, and she hasn't even noticed. Or worse, she has noticed, but assumes you'll handle it like you always do, because that's how she treats people. And you deserve so much better than that. Fine. Enough dancing around it. Enough subtle hints, enough cautious phrasing. You're falling apart right in front of me, and I'm supposed to sit here and pretend that staying with her is still an option? No, I'm done with that. I'm going to say what everyone else is too afraid to say. At this point, I think you should leave her. Yes, I said it. Because your health, your peace, your sanity mean more than a wedding date and a pretty ring. You can't keep sacrificing yourself just because you don't want to disappoint people. You can't keep pretending this relationship is healthy when every sign, every symptom, every drop of exhaustion says otherwise. You're barely sleeping, barely functioning, barely holding yourself together. And she hasn't changed a thing, hasn't adjusted, hasn't noticed, hasn't even asked the right questions. She expects you to solve everything, carry everything, handle everything. And you do, because you're scared of letting anyone down. But you're letting yourself down in the process. And I refuse to watch you destroy yourself for a woman who doesn't even see it happening. You deserve someone who actually listens, someone who understands you, someone who doesn't trigger your stress, someone who doesn't drain you. You deserve to feel calm with the person you love, not terrified, pressured, overwhelmed. And if that calm only exists when you're here with me, then maybe that says more than you're ready to admit. I'm not telling you this out of spite. I'm telling you because staying with her is killing you slowly. And you need to choose yourself for once before it's too late. At this point, I need you to stop pretending this is something you can push through. You can't. I'm telling you this as clearly and directly as I possibly can. If you stay with her, your condition will not improve. In fact, it will get worse, far worse. Because your body is already showing signs of shutting down from long-term emotional stress. And before you argue, No, you don't understand your own brain as well as you think you do. None of us do. I've spent years studying this, and even I can't always predict the exact breaking point. But I can see when someone is approaching it, and you're right there, right on the edge. And she is the reason. Not work, not life, not random stress. Her. Her presence, her demands, her emotional instability, her dependency on you, all of it is slowly eating away at you. And I'm done pretending that it isn't. You can't heal with the person who's hurting you. You can't breathe while living inside the very environment that's suffocating you. And you keep clinging to this idea that you'll magically feel better once the wedding is over. But that's not how trauma works. Once you're locked in, once the vows are said, once she's tied to you permanently, your brain will collapse under the pressure. You think you're stressed now? You don't understand what marriage to someone like her will do to you. And I'm not saying this to be dramatic. I'm saying it because your symptoms are already proof. I want the best for you. I want you free. I want you healthy. But you can't have any of that if you stay with her. I'm telling you clearly, leave her, or nothing I do will help you.
Listen to me very carefully. Your brain isn't built to endure this kind of emotional strain forever. No one's is. The human mind is unbelievably complex, fragile, reactive, and when it's exposed to constant stress from a relationship, especially one-sided emotional labor, it begins to break down in ways you don't see until it's too late. You think the headaches are bad now? They'll intensify. You think the insomnia is manageable? It'll become full nights awake. You think the fatigue is normal? You'll hit a point where getting out of bed feels impossible. And she won't know how to support you. She won't know how to help. She won't even understand the severity because she never has. You're hoping she'll magically change after the wedding, but she won't. And your body knows that even if your heart won't admit it. That's why your symptoms started when the engagement began. Your brain is signaling danger, conflict, incompatibility, and you're ignoring it. And I'm done watching you do that. Do you understand me? I'm pushing you on purpose because you won't push yourself. I'm raising my voice because you refuse to raise yours. I'm putting pressure on you because your mind is collapsing under the pressure she puts on you every day. I want you to be free of all these chains she's wrapped around you. The guilt, the responsibility, the obligation, the fear. She has trapped you in a cycle and you don't even see it. But I do. And I'm telling you now, with no hesitation, if you stay with her, I cannot help you. I won't even try, because trying would be useless. She is the source of your symptoms, and the only cure is leaving her. You're shaking. I can see it. But good. You need to feel this. You need to finally confront everything you've been burying. Because deep down, you already know what I'm saying is true. You know she isn't right for you. You know she stresses you, drains you, overwhelms you. You know you force yourself to care, force yourself to smile, force yourself to keep going because you don't want to hurt her. But what about you? What about your happiness, your peace, your health? Why is her comfort more important than your survival? You need to stop lying to yourself and admit what your body has been screaming for months. You don't want this marriage. You don't want this future. You don't even like her the way you think you do. Come on, be honest. You don't like her. Not truly. Not deeply.
not the way someone should like the person they're going to marry. And I don't like her either. I never have, because I know exactly what she's like behind closed doors. I know exactly how she treats people, and I refuse to watch her drag you down with her. I want you free, genuinely free, not tied to someone out of fear or duty. And if you can't admit this now, if you choose to stay with her despite everything I've shown you, then I won't continue helping you. I refuse to waste my effort treating symptoms caused by a choice you're too scared to walk away from. I'm here pushing you because I care, because I actually want you to be happy. But you can't be happy with her. You can't be healthy with her. And you won't get better until you leave her. So say it. Admit it. Choose yourself for once. You keep looking at me like you think this is just about your stress or your headaches or your sleep issues, but it's so much deeper than that. You don't understand how severe this is. You don't understand how close you are to breaking. And you definitely don't understand how long I've been watching this happen to you. Because while you were trying to pretend everything was fine, I was the one looking at charts that were getting worse every week. I was the one seeing your energy fading, your mood collapsing, your spark disappearing. And I kept asking myself how long you were going to lie to yourself before something snapped. But you never snapped, you just suffered silently. And that terrified me. Because if you can tolerate this much emotional destruction without saying a word, then you're capable of destroying yourself completely just to maintain an illusion of commitment. And I refuse to let that happen. Do you hear me? Refuse. Your fiancé doesn't know you're at your breaking point, but I do. She doesn't know you've been waking up exhausted, but I do. She doesn't see the pain written all over your face, but I do. And it makes me sick to think that you're still trying to protect her when she's the one hurting you. She doesn't deserve that loyalty. She doesn't deserve the version of you that's crumbling just to keep her comfortable. And don't you dare tell me you're okay. You're not. Look at you. Look at how your body reacts when I even say her name. Look at how your breathing changes, how your shoulders tighten. That isn't love. That's damage. And I'm done letting you ignore it. I'm done letting you pretend this isn't killing you slowly. All right. You want intensity. You want truth. You want the real reason I'm pushing you this hard? Then listen closely, because I'm about to tell you something I never planned on saying. You don't even know what I've done to protect you. You think I've just been watching from the sidelines, but no, I've stepped in more times than you'll ever realize. I've intercepted things, I've handled crises, I've prevented things from getting worse. I've shielded you from stress she caused without you even knowing it. You think those times she forgot something were accidents? They weren't. I stepped in. You think those little arguments that suddenly died down had nothing to do with me? Wrong. I interfered. I diffused situations before you even heard about them. Because every time she spiraled emotionally, she was planning to dump it onto you. And I refused to let you suffer through another one of her breakdowns. You don't understand how many times I've cleaned up her messes just to keep you stable enough to function. And the worst part is, she never even realized she was putting all that weight on you. She never realized how her chaos affects people. And she definitely never realized that I was the one trying to keep you safe. But I did it anyway, because I couldn't stand watching her drain you.
I couldn't stand seeing you exhausted, overwhelmed, and collapsing under someone who doesn't deserve you. And before you say it, no, this isn't jealousy, this isn't pettiness, this isn't some childish grudge. This is me recognizing that you were drowning and deciding to pull you out before you sink completely. But even I can't save you if you stay with her. Even I can't fight your symptoms if you keep walking back into the environment that's destroying you. I can protect you from almost everything, except your own denial. I need you to understand the weight of what I'm about to say, because I don't make threats, I don't say things I don't mean, and I don't take decisions like this lightly. If you stay with her, I will stop helping you completely. I won't treat your symptoms, I won't monitor your stress, I won't support you through the breakdowns, I won't step in when she overwhelms you again. I won't rescue you anymore. Because at that point, you're not a victim of her emotional drain, you're a volunteer. And I refuse to pour my time, my energy, my heart into someone who willingly walks back into the fire after being dragged out of it. I'm telling you this because I care, because I want you to survive, because I want you to have a future where you're not suffocating every day. But I can't be the only one fighting for you. If you choose her, if you choose that life, if you choose stress and exhaustion and emotional chaos over your own health, then you're choosing a path I can't follow you on. And yes, that means exactly what you think it means. I won't be there. Not as your doctor, not as your support system, not as the person who's been trying to keep you from collapsing. You will be alone with the consequences, alone with the pain, alone with the decline. Because I'm not going to watch you ruin yourself for someone who never deserved you. I'm not going to watch you waste everything you are because you're afraid to walk away. This is your turning point. Choose her and you lose me. Choose yourself and I will fight for you every step forward. But you can't have both. Not anymore. I can see it. The decision forming in your eyes. The truth you've been running from finally taking shape. And I'm not going to let you slip away from it this time. No more excuses, no more protecting her feelings, no more pretending you're strong enough to endure a lifetime of this. You're not, and you shouldn't have to be. You deserve better than a relationship that leaves you sick, exhausted, unseen. And you know that. You've known it for months. You've known it every time you walked in here and felt the tension drain out of your body just because I was the one listening to you, because I was the one who noticed your pain, because I was the one who cared enough to look deeper. You don't get that with her. You never did. And I'm not letting you hide behind fear anymore. I want to hear you say it, out loud. For you, not for me. Tell me you're done with her. Tell me you're walking away. Tell me you're choosing yourself for once. You've spent so much of your life sacrificing everything for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. And this is your chance to break that pattern forever. You don't owe her your life, your mental health, or your future just because she expected it. You don't owe anyone that. I'm standing right here telling you the truth no one else had the courage to tell you. That you've been suffering and she hasn't even noticed. and that you deserve someone who actually sees you. Someone who shuts down your panic, not causes it. Someone who wants to heal you, not drain you. Someone who loves you without taking everything from you. I want to hear it from you. Say it. Say you're ending it. Say the wedding is off. Say you're done.